Right, planning your approach. Who are you going to target? Let's have a look at newspapers. Times website. Obviously, as you can hear, I'm not from New York, but just use it as an example. We're looking for the contact details that tend to be at the bottom of such pages like this when it work in UK as well. And what we're looking for is where to contact someone at the paper, but avoid the editors. We want the journalists. So the thing about when you're looking at newspapers, once you've found who you're going to contact, try to avoid editors if possible. The reason for this is because the journalists are the ones hungry to get the story. They're the ones who need the story, and the editors are their bosses. So if you go straight to the boss, then you've got to try and sell it to them, and because you've got no relationship with them necessarily, it might be a bit more difficult. But the journalists, because they want to impress the boss, they will sell. If they think your story is worth it, they will sell your story to the editor. So get them to sell it to them rather than do it yourself. And offer a photo opportunity if possible, because newspapers like to have photos in there. If you've got something visual you can show them, and you can talk about that, then that's something you're going to include. If you're looking at radio shows, again, it's just about finding the contact us on there, and here's BBC Radio 2, and I've highlighted and put an arrow next to the contact us bit is. The secret to success with a radio show is look for niche shows and features, because if they're talking about a particular subject that your company is involved with or has some affiliation to, then that could be really good content for the show. Don't be late if you do get on. When I was interviewed on a couple of radio shows, one of them I had to pull over. I was in the car. They did say a time, but they were like half an hour late, and I had to go somewhere. And so I pulled over and had to have the interview on the side of the road, which on a mobile was a bit dodgy. So do try and allocate a window of time if you are picked. And if you are picked, smile on the phone. It's just an old tactic, but if you smile on the phone, much like I'm smiling like a Cheshire Cat now, you do sound more positive. And try it when you speak on the phone, and use a landline. Like I mentioned, I got caught out. I was using mobile, a bit dodgy. Lucky it didn't drop. So use a landline if possible. Right, the next thing we're looking at is internet radio shows. Right, so this is talkzone.com, so internet talk radio, and you've got two options here. Either you can try and use your story and connect with one of the hosts, or become a host yourself. But what I'll show is how to submit your story first. Well, what you do, I'm going to the business channel, but obviously depending on what your company is in or your client's business is in, you go to the relevant niche, and then just choose one of the shows. Let's choose this one. Consult us on your business. Now, there's no guarantee that you'll get on here, but I'm sure that an hour a week that they're looking for. They're going to be looking for content. So once you're on the business on their page, you can either email show host. Not all of them have got that linked up, but if they have, that's the easiest way. Or you can show website. If you click on that, it'll take you to their website. Let's go in that. Might need a bit of help there, but because I couldn't see the link. And you've got to contact us, and you can just mention them. You saw them in talkzone.com, and then you can do that. Or if you want to be the host and get people to come to you, just click become a host. So quite nice and straightforward. Then there's a little video telling you what they offer. How long you want to do it for. They contact you and see if you're a fit, or they've got gap in their shows that you can fit in. So yeah, becoming a host instantly puts you as the expert, and you can get people giving you content. Obviously, it takes more time, but depending on which way you want to go, is something you could consider. And the secrets to success for internet radio shows, again, look for niche shows features. Don't be late if you get a gig. So much like it's the same as normal radio. So yeah, try that. Now we look at magazines. So this is magatopia.com, and in here you've got loads of different types of magazines available. So under business, again, go to the niche that is more specific to you. And then you've got the different magazines here. So let's just have a look at bizreport.com. So that will take you here, and we're looking for the tried and trusted contact us. And you can see on the About Us, you've got the info at bizreport.com. Obviously, every magazine is going to be different, so have a look for your niche and potentially approach them with your story. Well, with the magazines, we just covered looking at online magazines, but don't forget offline. Offline probably more powerful, really. So go to your news agents, go to the news outlets, have a look at some of your niche magazines, and then contact them. Maybe send them a letter or a recorded delivery. Again, tailor it for the audience. You want your story to fit that magazine. And just add an idea that I know it's not being used as much. There's not many publications on it, but Newsstand on the iPhone. Maybe contact some of the magazines there. It will be being used more. More companies are using it, so you could introduce yourself and offer some content and help them build up their magazine for them. And now television. Right, what I'm going to show you now is a video of me on TV. Now, if you can imagine, when I was looking for a job, it was hard to express something that could be a bit of a twist on that. So what I was using on this was my determination to do anything. I was willing to do hard work, and it was a bit playful too, because that's the sort of guy I am. So it's about a minute. I hope you don't mind me indulging in that and just showing you, hopefully bring a smile to your faces and teach you something at the same time.
He's dressed for success and is not letting the grass grow under his feet while he waits for the job offers to fly in. Andy Palmer from Maidstone was made redundant from Northern Rock last year, and since then he's been trying to get work by sending off dozens of letters and emails every week. He has a few irons in the fire with a couple of his own internet sites, and it was whilst working on these that it occurred to him that he could harness the power of the World Wide Web by auctioning himself off.
I'm willing to do anything really, as long as it's not anything dodgy and not going to get hurt. And I hope it shows to potential employers that I'm a little bit different in terms of what I can bring to a role, and I've got the enthusiasm and the drive to get something to happen.
So far there's been one bid of the £1,000 that's needed to secure his services, but he doesn't know what it will entail. He'd like a job within the financial sector, being a mortgage and protection advisor. But what if the opportunity of a lifetime doesn't come his way when the auction ends?
Maybe I'll go to a boot fair and put a stall up, just me on there. See what happens there. I'll get some like car branding, Like, give me a job, you know, those magnetic things, just whack it on my car. But I don't think my car's going to be going do too many more miles if you heard it starting up. So yeah, that might not last that long.
Although Andy is a man for sale, there are limits, but he's certainly not afraid of a hard day's graft. David Wright in Maidstone for Meridian Tonight.
Now, television is a bit harder because finding the contact details. So getting the contact details much the same as newspapers and radio. Find the website. Find if you can get niche programs. That's great. Or if it's just generic, go like you would do to newspapers. Go for the news ones. As you saw in my video, was a bit quirky in it. So try and get a visual angle. And even if the subject matter doesn't seem like it's got a visual perspective, you can just, for want of a better phrase, think outside the box and go for something a bit unusual to get the TV producers excited to want to record you.